One, this is take 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Hey Jeanette, hey Liz, hey Lauren. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Hey hubby, hey Wendy, hey Audie. Can you guys hear me? Will you send hearts? Yay! I don't know what was going on. It said something with the internal microphone. Anyway, yay! Glad we are here. So this is KDM Reed from kdmreed.com. And you probably read this earlier when you could not hear me, but I love my Encourage calendar. And today I had to laugh at what it said, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Welcome everyone, glad you're here on this Friday edition of We Write. So, November 6th, someone once said in the dictionary the word hospitality falls someplace between hospital and hostel. One, a place of healing, and the other a place of refuge. That's really all anyone wants when they show up at our doorstep. They want to feel whole and they want to feel safe. And that, my friends, has nothing to do with the turkey. And that was from Deidre Riggs. She just wrote a book called Every Little Thing that I'm going to be reviewing either later this month or next month. Hey Lene, welcome. I'm going to turn around. Okay, so we're kind of foggy here. Hang on just a second. See if that will help. See if this will help. So professional of me, huh? So anyway, why I was laughing about this is we have friends coming over today. Hang on. Wow, this must be a message we need to hear because we're having trouble, right? Okay, so here we are. So we're having friends over today, and I don't always go crazy when friends come over. Thanks for the gallery, liking the gallery wall. So anyway, I don't, sometimes, especially if you're really comfortable with someone, hey, pizza from the store can be fine. But I am feeling better in my pregnancy. Look, I still have my apron on from TJ Maxx. Get a pretty apron. It helps make it feel better. So still have my apron on, but so I am making turkey today, and we're basically making Thanksgiving dinner because I got a turkey, and I've only cooked one other turkey in my life with my friend Janelle when we lived out in Arizona. And so I'm like, why not? That sounds good. So we're having turkey, mashed potatoes. Yes, cute aprons help a lot, don't they? Stuffing. My husband and I love stovetop stuffing. We don't necessarily like to make our own. We like from the store. That kind anyway. And then we made rolls in the bread machine, and we made hot cider, and then my friends bringing veggies. My daughter made, yes, the apron sets the stage. And hubby thinks it's cute too, Jeanette, so that helps too. So anyway, and then my daughter made homemade cupcakes. She's a very good baker. She wants to bake every day. And I told her I'm going to be 300 pounds at the end of this pregnancy if she keeps baking. But I'm trying to foster her dreams, her creativity as well. She really wants to be a Master Chef Junior. We need to make a video because the auditions are open right now, so we shall see. So anyways, what I want to talk about today is being a hospitable writer. And I feel like I have done this well, and I have done this lousy. And so I want to encourage you to ask, if you are a writer, how can we be hospitable? I would love to hear your ideas. Okay, here's one way I have not been hospitable. Okay, let me back up. One way I have is by having guest posters fairly often to share my space. It's inviting people over, letting them shine. I think that is a great way. And it can be scary sometimes because you want to make sure that that person aligns with, your mission, that you trust them enough to send your readers to their websites and to read their kind of things. Usually for guest posting, I have some sort of relationship with that person or friendship. Maybe we've been interacting online for a while. Maybe I've met them at a conference. Maybe we write for another site together, but I usually don't do just an unsolicited guest post because I really want to know something about that person, to be familiar with them. And so that's just kind of how I do things. I have other friends that do an open submission thing. I have some people that, you can submit to their site and then they'll see if it's a good fit, that kind of thing. But one way I have not been hospitable is a couple times I have had people not follow the word count. Like I have said, I want it 700 words or less. And then I'll get a 1,200 page or 1,200 word, not page, whoa, a 1,200 word post. And what I should have done is to say, something like, thank you so much for this post. I do need to have it be 700 or 800 words, as I had said in the guideline. Could you rework it and get it back to me ASAP? But what I did is I took their post and I just pared it down, because I was like, well, this was the guideline. And, that probably wasn't the best way to handle it. I probably should have gone to them, asked them to rework it first, and then gone from there. Because if you set guidelines on your site, sure, if someone's over by 50 words and they say, hey, I just couldn't cut it down, that's totally fine. But you want to try, Crystal Stein had said this before about guest posting, you want to try to write a post that fits the tone of the other site or maybe what their message is. And then also to stick with those guidelines as best you can. And there's so much grace, you guys. I know that those people had grace for me and helped me through that process. So anyway, and I think it's just about communication. So having guest posters can be a great way to be hospitable. Another thing is I have a group of ladies, there's about 7 of us, and then there's a few others. Yes, Grace, that was Tara's series last month, where I can say, hey, I am writing over here today. Would you mind sharing this link? And so it's great to have a small group of people that will do that for you, and then you can do that for them, because sometimes you feel like you get lost out in the noisy internet. And if you're really proud of a piece, and I've had people do that to me, hey, will you share this post? And we already have a good friendship where I'm like, absolutely, I trust their writing. I try to go and read it first, before I share it, but I know that I'm going to find good quality, content. Another thing of how to be hospitable is just to think about your reader. If you're bringing, to protect them, I guess, a little bit. If you have a lot of readers who have been abused, you might want to be careful when you're posting something. Just one second. I want to see what Tara's saying. I'm excited. One of my favorite sites is linking up. That's awesome. So exciting. Way to go. So you guys could be hospitable by sharing Tara's post and her good news, right? So, anyway, you want to be mindful of your readers. If you know a lot, you have several divorced people that are reading, you want to be sensitive to that when you're writing posts. Now, that doesn't mean you don't ever approach those topics, but you want to be sensitive and hospitable to those that you know something about. And that's a good thing to get to know your readers a little better too, and so that you can be sensitive to some of those things. Also, I got this idea from Kate Motong, from katemotong.com. She's the host of 5 Minute Friday. Last year, she wrote a post about I don't know if it was her top 10 favorite posts she read or something like that. I think she did her favorite books as well, but I'd encourage you guys to do that in December. I'm going to be doing that. I think I'm going to be doing the books I read, and I'm also going to be doing some of the favorite posts of other people's that I read. And I just think that is such a good way because, we want people to read our stuff. And when other people encourage us that, or when we encourage other people that we're reading their stuff, it goes such a long way. So I encourage you, maybe do a top 10 list, or, it doesn't have to be in order or anything, but hey, these posts really resonated with me. And I tried this year, I think I did good till about July, is as I read something that really resonated with me, I'm putting it just in a Word document with a link or something like that, so that I remember that I want to share it. So then I don't have all these, posts from November and December where I scurried to try to read other people's stuff, because it's hard as a writer to have the time to go read other people's things. And so I think that's nice when you have that core group of people where you can say, hey, I'm really proud of this piece. Do you mind sharing it? It just gives them that trigger, because it's not that, they don't want to read your stuff ever. It's just that we're all so busy trying to do our own things. And I know I read a great post from my friend Abby McDonald the other day. She had shared about some things that are about postpartum, and it was a very well-written article. And, I love Abby's stuff. I wish I could read it every day, but I can't. And so I was so glad to see that and be able to share it. So that's another way to just be hospitable, is share other people's stuff. And yes, Pinterest can be a great way to share. Maybe I missed part of your conversation, Lauren, sorry. But be a hospitable writer, and people will remember that. here's another thing I'm not great at. If someone guest posts for me, sometimes I'm really great at like scheduling a bunch of tweets to go out, and sometimes I'm not, but I'm trying to get better at that, because I know Kelly Bellari, like when the regular contributors, when we write there, she goes crazy, like sharing our message, and I so appreciate that. So I want to get better when people guest post for me to make sure that I'm really like cheering loud and doing that kind of thing. So what are some of your ideas about being a hospitable writer? You know, are you a haven for people? Are you a refuge? You know, there's been a couple posts. We all want to write transparent. Well, maybe you don't. I think we should all write transparent and authentic, but you know, you also want to be sensitive and just sometimes, you know, yield or pause. Hey, Courtney, welcome. Before you know, maybe just sound off on something. You know, there's been a couple times I'm like, oh, I really want to write this. I'm all stirred up. But I'm like, you know what? Is this just kind of me being revengeful? Or, you know, is this really going to help my readers? And, you know, because your readers trust you, right? Hopefully, you know, they come to a point like, I trust what they're going to say. And if you're way out in left field one day, they could be like, whoa, what's going on? But anyways, be a hospitable writer, and, you know, have some people guest post. It doesn't have to be all the time. Maybe just once a month you want to do that. Or, you know, try to share some other people's posts, and especially use your blog space to do that sometimes. You know, sometimes on social media we're sharing, but I know I try to, when the 31-day series comes out, I'll pick maybe 6 or so, sometimes 10 if I have enough time, and just share some other people's series. It's basically the golden rule, right? Yes, that's right, Lene. Is it more helpful or harmful? Absolutely, because we have a responsibility. And you know, kind of famous author told me recently, she's like, you know, once it's out there, and you can't really take it back, even if you know, delete it. And so we want to be authentic, we want to be real, but we also want to be careful, you know, with what we're putting out there, and what, you know, what's our motive behind that. And I am preaching to myself right now too, but so glad you joined me today. Oh, that's awesome, Tara. So she had 3 guest posts during her series. That's great. And you know, that's how you forge friendships, is, you know, you invite someone over first before you wait to be invited, right? So yeah, and sometimes for my guest posters for this series, I think I had like 9 of them. Their posts, a lot of them were, I mean, all their posts were so good, and I liked them better than a lot of my posts, you know, and so they can just challenge you, and as you read other people's writing, it's going to sharpen you as well. So the golden rule, right? Treat each other as you want to be treated. Be a hospitable writer. You know, people can tell if you're really closed with your site, and really, you know, you want to be wise, absolutely. But you also want to be discriminatory when you're bringing in, I mean, not in a bad way, you know what I'm saying? Like with people's writing, you want good quality writing on your site, because people are trusting you and they're coming there, and, you want to be hospitable to your reader as well as to other writers. So I hope that encourages you today for this Friday edition of We Write. I will be back on Monday at 1:30 for the Monday message. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'm going to go work on some more food. But more than that, as Deidre's quote says, I want to work on having a hospitable attitude, because if I'm mean to my whole family before the guest comes over, you know, that's setting the tone. So set the tone and set the table, or enlist others to set the table for you. And I hope that you have a great weekend. Glad that you are here, and I will talk to you later.